Hey guys, this is NaturallyGreer and I am coming to you with part 2 of my real life NP video. I did this portion like a couple of weeks ago and for some reason something happened to it, so I'm going to film it again, and so yeah, let's get started. So last video, I kind of talked to you a little bit about my first year and a half, almost 2 years into my NP experience. The main points from that video was to make sure that you relied heavily on your preceptors, found really good preceptors and relied heavily on them to help you in the job force. And then just making sure that you followed your gut and understood what you didn't want as an NP and what you did want. So as a nurse practitioner, the last 2 years have really been about establishing myself as a nurse practitioner and really filling out like what niche I want to fulfill in this job arena. So let's just get right into it. My last 2 years as a nurse practitioner have been very rewarding because I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to understanding that, understanding where I want to fit in, where I fit in as a nurse practitioner, and what my strengths are in this field. I think it's a constant reformatting or rediscovery, just like everything, it's changing. So, you know, you constantly have to redefine yourself within this job as well. My first job in this 3-year span, or 3 to 4 year span, so my third job was in the arena of retail. And if a lot of people don't know, as a nurse practitioner, you can work in a retail type setting. And what I mean about that is that, you know, there's a lot of jobs out there as far as in pharmacies and things like that that are taking on these kind of mix of primary and urgent care type settings, where nurse practitioners are the main providers. So I worked in this setting for about 6 months and it was not my cup of tea. I am, like I said, an ER nurse by trade. It was, to me, it was too slow. It was not the wide array of things that I was used to seeing in a facility, and it was a lot on the nurse practitioner from the standpoint of administration, management, PR, and I just wasn't willing to fulfill all of those hats. I really wanted to just stick to what I went to school for and really hone in on those skills. And I felt like I was doing more of the other things than I was actually practicing medicine as a nurse practitioner. So that was my hesitancy in staying, because I felt like most of my skills would be left behind and forgotten if I stayed in that setting for any longer. So I decided to leave, and I'm grateful that I did. You know, it was very limiting, and I'll say to anybody or any nurse practitioner that plans on maybe starting off in that type of setting or going to that type of setting, you have to be aware that this is a business, especially in a retail type setting. It's really a business, and so they want the business to flourish. They don't really want you to flourish independently per se as far as your skills and things. They really want the business to flourish as a whole, and that includes the store and the pharmacy and everything. So you're just another part of that business flourishing. So you're bringing patients in, or you're bringing customers in, just like the pharmacy is, or just like, you know, that sales ad did that day. So, you know, it really is a technique or a tactic to get the people into the stores, because you'll notice that most of the clinics that they have in these retail type settings are towards the back. So it's to get to the patient in the store, to look around, to see what they may want. So I am all for evidence-based practicing, and that means basically that you're going by the latest research, you're going by the most upstanding research and information out there on how you're going to treat this person. But in a retail type setting, that is limited. So you're not always following evidence-based practice because of your limited ability to treat certain things. So when you went out of those parameters just a little bit, it felt like, you know, I was always getting like emails about stuff like, oh, we would have done it this way, and da 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 da. And I'm like, but you didn't see the patient. You know, you didn't experience what was going on with that person. I saw the person, you know, documented their history, but you didn't take that into account. I always give a job 6 months. That's word to a wise. You know, things can change, things can get a little bit better. Give a job at least 6 months to see what's going to happen. In that third to fourth month, you can kind of figure it out. And so at that point, you need to start looking again. So by that time, you have something to put down on your resume, you have some experience, and now it's start looking again. So I give myself at least three months to find something by that third month if I feel like this is not going to be a fit. So that's how I go about going from one job to the next. I'm about 6 months in right now where I am, and I'm okay right now. I'm okay. So I haven't started looking yet. So we'll see. So now my fourth job where I am now, which will kind of be like my fourth and fifth because I'm doing two things here. My fourth job where I am now is basically, it's an internal medicine clinic. It's privately owned, and I am assessing people for private accidents, workman's comp type things. And I'm also about to get into the arena of doing like renewals on people's DOT or CDL licenses, doing DOT physicals. So the DOT aspect is basically my little, me and a friend of mine that's going into this business kind of together. And it's kind of our little baby, like we're starting this up from the ground up. But we're able to do it in the facility that we work out of. She works part-time and I work full-time out of this facility. So, you know, if your boss is okay with it, then do it. Something about working in the private sector sometimes that may deter a lot of people from doing so is that you'll have to be contract. I'm contract right now where I am. And at first, it really was a big deterrent because I was so used to working a job or going to a job where I had insurance and a 401k or a pension, just that protection for me, myself, and my family. It kind of worked out a little bit because my husband has insurance, so we're able to obtain insurance through his job. But some people, it may not work out like that for. So, you know, really knowing your options, really knowing, you know, does this pay increase really work out for me? Because now I have to go look for my own insurance, or now I have to get my own 401k set up. Being contract really could be to your benefit because you can write off a lot. You can write off a lot of expenses on your car. If you own your own home or have your own office, you can write off a lot of expenses in that arena. A lot of the things that you do day in day for the business, you can write off. So, you know, you may not see it right then and there, but you may see it at the end of the year, the difference in cost or the difference in pay. So that may be sufficient enough for you to obtain your own insurance or to put a little bit of money aside on your own. So that's totally up to you if that's what you want to do. I just don't like people that stray away from it just because they don't have that security there, because life is more than just somebody taking money out of your check all the time. And who's to say you couldn't pay less than you're taking or getting taken out by working these 9-to-5 jobs that remove funds from your check before you even get it. So that is where I am with the job so far.
Hey guys, I am continuing this conversation about jobs and NP life on my next video. I'm also answering some of your questions, so don't forget to subscribe and like, and check out my next video. Bye.